Hello everyone, this is Caroline. I'm just doing a test to make sure that the volume works. Seems like it's going to be fine. We'll be starting in 20 minutes. Hi everyone, this is Caroline, not Brian D'Agostino as you maybe thought. I am the Vendor Programs Manager here at BoostLingo. Let me just turn my screen on here, one moment. Hi everybody, good morning or good afternoon depending where you are. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about my role and what I'm trying to do with these webinars, and then also go into a little bit about VRI, video remote interpreting. It's something that I'm sure a lot of you already know about, but just to gauge interest and knowledge, I'm going to start with an easy topic. So let's get started here. I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. So I've been an interpreter, been in the interpreting industry for about 10 years. I'm from San Francisco, which is where BoostLingo headquarters is. I moved abroad when I was 19 and was abroad for about 10 years, came back, and now I am doing everything I can to be in the language industry. I love interpreting. I love working with people who love interpreting, so this is a perfect job for me. Yeah, so basically I am here as your point person with BoostLingo. And if you don't know already, BoostLingo is the software platform that a lot of you already use to do video remote interpreting, over the phone interpreting, and then also scheduling is part of the platform. That's a big part of the platform. And I know it's not available at the moment to do scheduling to our professional network, which is a lot of what you guys are doing is the on-demand calls. But shortly it will be available, which is going to be a great feature for all of you. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do a brief overview of the platform here. So let me share my screen, and then I'll go into a few tips on video remote interpreting. And I also want to hear from all of you guys because this is really your space. This is where I want to hear from you as the interpreters who are using our platform. And I want to be able to give you the right sort of topics and be able to discuss things that are important to you guys. So if you can email me anytime, it's caroline@boostlingo.com. So please feel free to do that anytime. I would love to hear from you guys, just to get feedback or to hear, how's it going with your use of the platform, or just to say, hey, whatever you want to do. So let me share my screen here. One moment. Just going to minimize my face. And here. Can you all see my screen? Hope so. Great. Okay. Let me just move my face out of the way here. A lot of you already use this platform, the BoostLingo app. I'm showing you the desktop right now, and obviously it's available on mobile, but I wanted to show you this just briefly for those of you who haven't seen it. So this is our dashboard, and if you're interested and you're not already an interpreter with us, please email me and I'd be happy to get you onboarded. Again, it's caroline@boostlingo.com. So just a brief overview. This is your dashboard. So this shows your total earnings, on-demand hours, appointments, which will be available to you guys soon. And then also it shows your aggregate rating, which is something that, you know, is pretty important in terms of showing your quality, your quality assurance. So then if we go to Quick Start, it has a lot of quick links here, like documents that might be of interest to you, showing you maybe our training tools, which are going to be more available to you guys as the company grows. And just so you're aware, I'm new in this role, so I'm in charge of getting the training tools out to you guys and creating a community for you. So I really want to hear from all of you, just to, you know, I want to make this as useful a space to you guys as possible. So yeah, so that's our community. The log will show, sorry, here, one second, will show your calls. So I haven't done any calls, but if you've done calls, it'll show them right here. Configuration, pretty basic, shows your general information, contact info, your languages, which is important. To request that you'll be given permission to do a certain language, the LSC that you're working for, language service company, has to approve that, and they also have to approve medical, legal, specialized types. Important information here too, you can show if you're Hipaa compliant or if you have certain accreditations. ASL, different communication types as well. So video remote interpreting is what we're going to be talking about in a little bit. Over the phone interpreting, which is what is the most used right now, but VRI is becoming more and more popular. And then there's on-site, of course. So yeah, so if you hover over your profile picture, you can click on LSCs, and this way you're able to see which LSCs you're working for, which ones have invited you to accept assignments from them. So I can go toggle between LSCs, switch LSCs. I can see which ones I'm enabled in or disabled in. If you are disabled, then you can go, you can contact your LSC and ask them to enable you. A lot of times in the crowd networks, which is what a lot of you are part of, I would be your point person for that. So email me if you notice that your profile is disabled, and I can help you get that fixed. Obviously, rates are important. Just an example here. Invoices, so you can create your own invoices and send them out to the right LSCs, because a lot of you work for a lot of different LSCs, so that's important to have access to. And then obviously something also very important is the caller. So how do we accept calls? A lot of you already know this, but bear with me here. You click on the microphone symbol here on the top, and I'll go over with you guys each individually, more in depth when we do the onboarding and the connectivity check. But I wanted to just give a brief, show you briefly what it does. So this is the app. Basically, you open it up, and when it opens up, normally it's in red, but mine is in green, so that means I'm online. So if I click in the center, it goes offline. Click in the center again, goes online. That means I'm available to accept calls. So calls will come in on demand from clients who need your language pair. When the call comes in, there will be a little button at the bottom that says click to answer. Pretty simple. You click on it, and then you're accepting the call. If it's a video call, it'll give you a little bit of leeway time to set up your environment, make sure everything's confidential, and that you're wearing you're not wearing your pajamas. So yeah, basically that's how our app works. If you have any questions, please write in the chat there, and I'd be happy to answer anything for you. I'm gonna go out of this for now. I'm actually gonna shut off my face while I turn on the presentation. So here, 1 second. Sort of new to this technology, so. Okay, great. So you can still see my screen, and I'm just going to show you my presentation briefly here on just some tips for VRI. So what is VRI? I'm sure a lot of you already know and are using it. But let's delve deeper. Let's see. So VRI, Video Remote Interpreting. It's a form of video conference technology that we use to provide in basically face-to-face interpreting services for clients. It's a great way to kind of go around the having to be on site. And obviously a lot of industries are now steadily growing in their demand for this kind of technology because they need interpreters a lot of times at the drop of a hat in hospitals or doctors' offices, mental health care facilities, police station, financial institutions, anything that's going to require interpreting. So just so you guys are aware, a lot of you work for pros.com, and pros.com is an LSC that Boostlingo works with to provide the they manage and pay our interpreters, and we provide the technology. I know it's a little bit confusing, but if you have any questions on that end, please email me or shoot me a message here in the chat. Let's see. So anyways, basically entities can contract for VRI services to be provided by appointment or to be available on demand 24 hours a day. That's why it's so popular and becoming much more in demand. And that's why Boostlingo is trying to make it much more robust. So it's becoming popular. As you may not know, there are more than 350 languages spoken in the United States. So complications arise when trying to communicate. That's in all different types of sectors. And there are always large demand for ASL interpreters with certain standards developed by the ADA, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware of. And actually, it's an interesting fact, but English is not the official language of the United States. The United States doesn't actually have an official language because every time it's tried to be passed in Congress, it just doesn't go through. This is one of the most diverse countries in the world, and that's why interpreting services are so in demand. Okay. With interpreting, obviously there comes standards. Standards in terms of specialized types, standards in terms of Hipaa compliance. What does it mean to be Hipaa compliant? So Hipaa compliance is something that we're going to talk about in the next episode, actually, on September 4th. I'm going to bring in an expert to go over this topic, but just to briefly give you some information here, Hipaa compliance is something that the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act sets the standard for sensitive patient data protection. Companies that deal with protected health information, PHI, as I'm sure you've heard it called, must have physical, network, and process security measures in place and follow them to ensure Hipaa compliance. Covered entities, anyone providing treatment, payment, or operations in healthcare, and business associates, anyone who has access to patient information and provides support in treatment, payment, or operations must meet Hipaa compliance. So I'm sure in your everyday jobs, you can think of a lot of assignments that would require you to be HIPAA compliant, especially if you're a medical or legal interpreter, and you have to obviously have the right level of training for that. When I first was here at Buslingo, we actually went over I sent out an email to a lot of you, just requiring or getting you to try to get HIPAA compliant. And here's a link right here on the page. It's just hipaatraining.com. It's a 2-hour seminar that you do, and it makes you HIPAA compliant. So that's really great. What else is important when you're doing video remote interpreting? So the best way to ensure the highest quality of VRI is to make sure that you have the bandwidth and network are up to par. So here are some of the tests I just included here in the presentation. We use them and they're free. Network test Twilio and speed test. I use these when I'm onboarding interpreters just to make sure that they have the best internet quality connection as possible so that they can be getting assignments, and so that their assignments are going to be working really well. So moving on. Best technology. Obviously, it's important to have a working computer. At all? No. Obviously, it's important to have a working computer, and it is also very important to have a good headset, microphone if you're doing OPI, and then camera if you're doing VRI. So yeah, obviously those are pretty obvious things, pretty basic, but they are very important. So I wanted to bring them up here. I'm realizing that some of you can't see my screen, which is fine, no big deal. I'm just going to keep going. Okay, yeah, so anyways, best practices. I've heard a lot throughout my experience in this industry, and you'd be surprised at what kind of stories I've heard of people answering calls without shirts on, or in their bedroom, or at the dining table. Obviously, it's important to have a confidential environment, and it's also very important to be assignment ready. What does it mean to be assignment ready? You think it's pretty common sense, but it's actually people do a lot of things that you'd be surprised at. So confidential environment is very important. Home office, for example, or any room with the door shut where you're sitting at a table or a desk would be professional. We want to be careful with private health information, PHI. And then also, we usually tell the interpreters that we're onboarding to answer their calls in just a short professional greeting. Hello, my name is Caroline, and I'm your Spanish interpreter. How may I help you? And then always let the client hang up the call. That's pretty important. We've had people hang up in the middle of an assignment, and obviously that's not very professional. So, and then dress appropriately. Don't wear your pajamas or a ball gown, just something comfortable, but something, maybe a collared shirt and slacks. Okay. How will VRI enhance my freelance career? Will enhance your freelance career? It's on the rise. It's going to be a more in-person feel while allowing interpreters to do work remotely from all over the world. So that's huge. And that's why Buslingo's technology is becoming more and more popular. So if you aren't already on the platform, I suggest that you email me and we talk, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. And yeah, so just to show you a little, or explain to you how to get involved a little bit on our platform and with our community, because it's going to be taking off, email me, Caroline at buslingo.com, anytime. Check out and subscribe to our blog. It's called Cafe Lingo, and we've already had a few of you guys write some posts in there, which is awesome. We're always looking for more, so it's www.buslingo.com/blog. Like our Facebook page, Buslingo for Interpreters, And then also there's this really awesome opportunity. I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but we're also doing this language service company referral program. So if you're an interpreter and you refer us a LSC who isn't already on our platform and they become a partner with us and are with us for 30 days, you get an easy $500. So that's pretty cool. All you have to do is go to our website and go to www.boostlingo.com/interpreters, and a little pop-up will be there, and you just put in the information of the LSC and we contact them. And then once they're a member with us for 30 days, we'll PayPal you $500. Pretty cool. So that's kind of all I have to say for today. This was really just a test run webinar, make sure you guys know I'm here and I'm at your disposal. And yeah, next month, September 4th, 11 a.m. Pacific. Our next episode will be Hipaa Through the Grapevine. I'll be bringing on an expert in Hipaa Compliance just to share trends, because it's becoming something that is more and more needed in this industry, if you didn't realize. So yeah, I will finish up here and take any questions you might have. If there are no questions, then I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for coming. Thought? No, it's okay. No question? Let me see if there's any hands. Here we go. I'm looking at your questions now. Sorry, I realized that the screen was frozen for part of this, so I'm really sorry about that. Do you have any questions on the material at all? So I'm seeing your questions. Shujing Liu. Do you want to speak to me one-on-one and send me an email, or would you want to? Here, let me unmute. How do I? Hi, Shu. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. I'm a Chinese man. You hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. How's it going?
Okay. Okay. I'm a Chinese man, and I'm very confident about my Chinese because I have been living in China for 38 years.
Okay. Wow.
And then I immigrated to Canada. I've been living in Canada for like 14 or 13 years, and I've been studying at the University Toronto, majoring linguistic.
Okay, that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, I graduated. So I all my life I have been keep studying English, because I has always been wanted to be an interpreter or translator. Yeah, my English is keep improving. My English is getting better, even though I'm not young guy, but I'm still improving in my English. I know lots of adults, they stop learning a language because they think language is for young people to learn.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point, because it's learning a language is actually one of the best things you can do for your brain. It's something that keeps you active, and so I think that's wonderful that you're learning a new language, and it sounds like you're doing great. So good job.
Yes, because and I can understand radio, TV, and video and something. I can read newspaper books, and I can write English like grammatically correctly and write quite complicated subjects. But I
That's
mean
great.
that yeah I wanted to become a translator or interpreter. However, I tried this way or that way. I never get through. So, for example, I know both lingo about 2 or 3 years ago. Mm, Then I registered. I had an interview through the mm, computer internet um, with with somebody in Bolingo, and
Uh-huh.
she accepted me and put me as one of the interpreters. But however, the platform was like I have to put on the my headphone and sit in front of a computer and wait for somebody uh, to ring me, and then I have a piece. I tried to wait there for half an hour, probably 1 hour, and nobody ring me. So I found because then I didn't want to try it anymore because I sit there in front of the computer
Yeah,
and
no, I
get
totally
no result.
understand. That's a big concern with a lot of interpreters, and all, the information that I usually give you guys is to just try different times of day and see how the demand is. What I also do each week is I put out a report to our language service company partners with information on calls that are being missed, so you can kind of see trends of um, what times things are happening, what times which languages are coming in, and obviously it changes. But if you want, Shu, you can send me an email and we can set up a time to talk one-on-one. I see other people have questions, so I might need to move
Yes,
on.
yes,
Yeah, but
yes.
please shoot me an email. I would love to meet with you. That would be awesome.
Because
Okay.
you said your email address, Caroline.
Yeah. So I'll write
Bush,
it.
but how can I spell correctly? Cari?
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Here, I'm trying to write my. Yeah, I can write it here on the answers. Caroline, Caroline at boostlingo.com.
I can't see it. Oh, I see it. Okay, thank you, thank
Did
you.
you see it there? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So not to cut you off or anything, but I'm going to move on to a couple other
yeah,
people
I understand. Go
here.
ahead.
But it was great to talk to you, and thanks for attending.
Yeah.
So Keith had a question. I'm just want to make sure that I can go up here. I'm going to start from the beginning here. So Francisco, did you have a question for me? Francisco, did you have a question for me?
No, everything is clear. Thank you, Caroline.
Okay, cool. Thanks for just tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right, Keith. Keith, did you have a question for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Thanks for the presentation. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I used, like I said in my question, I used Boostlingo briefly last, I think it was about a year ago actually, and took a few calls.
Okay.
Um, I guess I'm not really sure what you guys are trying to do with the platform because I understand that it's you you guys, so you're connected with other language service companies, which we all know there's hundreds of them out there. And
Yeah.
but then I remember when I did the jobs with you guys last year, I still had to go through Prosy to get paid. So is it more of just like an organization platform, or are you going on there to just manage your jobs and you still get your jobs from the outside? Because I'm with like 2 companies right now.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is we have two sides of it. So I'm sort of echoing here, sorry. There's the interpreter community, which is what I'm in charge of, and that those
Mm-hmm.
interpreters are working for what we call our backstop partners. So we don't actually employ the interpreters. What we do is we work with LSCs who who pay them and who manage them and who further vet them. I help them get onboarded, so I do the connectivity test to make sure they understand the software and make sure it works for them. But then the other side of it is we have these LSC partners who are under these different account managers that we employ, and those are the guys that are making the calls. Those are the people that have the clients who are taking the calls and putting them to the backstop partners. So it's a little bit confusing. I know it's
yeah, it is, because I just don't. I mean, and this is my problem with. I'm pretty new to the industry, but
yeah, no,
this is my
that's
problem
okay.
in general, that because you don't know who you're working for. That's the problem.
That's,
So
I
I do a
mean,
job on your platform, but I'm working with somebody else, but then I get paid by them. But then I go somewhere physically to do the job, or I VRI into somewhere, hospital X or clinic X,
right.
whatever, to do that job. So it's very confusing. So I just want to know where you guys are at.
So
on that.
we're kind of the middleman. We're just the software platform.
Yeah.
So we provide the technology, and then we work with LSCs who actually pay you guys. And then the clients have enough. So there's a lot of different profiles within the BoostLingo platform. You can be an administrator, which means maybe you have a company and you employ interpreters, or you can be a backstop partner, which is what I'm in charge of. They are LSCs that we trust and are bigger LSCs to manage the interpreters, and they have interpreters in their pools, and you would be one of those interpreters. So that's how they pay you. But we also have LSCs that are routing to the crowd. So pros.com, for example. I know it's confusing. Sorry. I hope I'm explaining it okay. But we can also set up a one-on-one if you want to talk further. I should probably get to some other questions also.
Sure. No, I appreciate the information and
yeah, of course.
good presentation.
Yeah, and email me. I'd love to meet with you. So, okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Anyone else? Roxandra. Hey, Roxandra.
Hey.
I just enabled you. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you have a question for me today?
I actually had several questions, which I hope that we will be able to talk directly if you have time.
Sure.
Have a one-on-one meeting.
That would be great. So why don't you send me an email, and I'll be sure to set up a time with you.
Okay. One fast question.
Sure.
I don't know if the app is active yet. The app for the phone, I mean. I've seen that you have it on the Apple Store, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
but
I do. Yeah.
I registered with you via my pros.com profile, but I cannot connect to the app. I don't know why.
Yeah, so that's going to be something we're going to need to do a sort of a test run in person. Not in person, but just one-on-one, because it has to do with a lot of variables. So, but yeah, let's set up a time really soon, and I'd love to help you through that.
Okay, and can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
You mentioned the reports with the calls. Are they also broken down or classified by language?
Yes. So each week I send out a report to our backstop partners who manage the interpreters who are taking these calls, just so that they can get an idea of when the call is and what language pairs it is, so we can get a better idea of staffing and when people should be going online to take calls. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's very good, because I guess there are different people from different countries, and it would be good to know when to actually be online.
Yeah, definitely. And eventually, it's really soon. We're going to have scheduling to the crowd, so scheduling to interpreters like you guys who are working in our professional platform, and that's going to be really good, because then you'll have ways to know exactly when to go online, which is really cool. Yeah. So let's set up a time, you and me. Send me an email and we will talk.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Bye. Okay. Other questions? Sorry, I'm going to butcher your name, but Vyacheslav. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah. Hi, Caroline. I just sent you an email. Yes.
Okay. So you want to talk one-on-one?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, great. Well, do you have any quick questions for me now at all?
Not really. I just wanted to find out how it works.
Sure,
Do I need
yeah,
to
I'd be happy
install
to.
software on my computer, and how does it work?
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to meet with you. I'll answer your email as soon as I'm off the webinar.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, that looks like all the questions from everyone. So just gonna sign off and thank you all so much for being here. It's been great to chat with you.